Brandon in Arizona thinks this is all a waste of time. Welcome, Brandon.
Yeah, hey Matt, how are you?
Evidently, I'm mean and mad, but
yeah, well, I'll be surprised if I make it through this call without getting hung up on. So, anyhow, it's I just want to ask: don't you have a little bit of a problem with, science can tell us what happened hundreds of thousands of years ago, millions of years ago, billions of years ago, but we're having a real problem with what happened 2,000 years ago with this guy Jesus.
Yeah, I do have a problem with that. And it seems to me that I'm the only one on the side of this that's between me and the theists who's being reasonable. Because if in fact there was a God, then that God could have guaranteed that we had no issue with this, what supposedly happened 2,000 years ago, right?
Here's the problem, though, is that, even if you present evidence, because the best analogy I've thought of is that it's like atheists or non-believers want to put on rose-colored glasses that there's no such thing as hell and God's not going to punish anybody and this and that. And then they come, it's like I own a lamp store and they come in and say, I want a yellow lamp. Okay, so here you go. Here's a yellow lamp. No, that's orange.
So Brandon, that's really cute, but it's only, you need to show me what those rose-colored glasses are. You don't just get to assert that I'm missing something. You have to present the actual evidence. So if I came into your store, you could say, here's your yellow lamp. And I'd say, no, that's orange. And you'd say, take off those rose-colored glasses. And I would take them off and say, you're correct. So your analogy falls apart. Why is it that God can't demonstrate the truth of his existence?
Okay, well, you've hung up on me before for trying to tell you, God's here on earth in the form of a Bible, the Word of God. But this is something.
So, Brandon, you can say that, but you have to prove that it's the Word of God. You don't just get to assume it's the Word of God.
But this is where, okay, so now if I present you the evidence that, hey, Jesus fulfilled all of these prophecies in books of the Bible that were written hundreds and even, over 1,000 years of when he was even born. And
none of these prophecies that you're going to point to.
All you see is an orange lamp.
No, sir. You're looking at these prophecies, and some of which aren't even prophecies. You have no idea who wrote them, when they wrote them, and nothing about them is specific to a time, date, place, or event. It is all vague messages. It's like looking at Nostradamus's quatrains and saying, this one predicts World War I. Well, you're looking at it after the fact and reading something into it. You do realize that Jews, who are the keepers and founders of their messianic prophecy, don't accept that Jesus fulfilled messianic prophecy, right?
But you realize they're fulfilling prophecy by doing that. And also the problem that, now hold on, because they know.
Talk about your rose-colored glasses. You have prophecy-colored glasses. You see this shit everywhere you turn. Are you going to present any evidence, or are you just going to make up more excuses?
Well, do you want me to pull out Bible verses that show you that?
No, because Bible verses can't prove anything.
What was that?
Bible verses aren't going to prove anything. You need evidence.
Because you don't believe that it's true. There's our
correct. I do not believe that the Bible is true, and you cannot. No, Brandon, listen to me. I do not believe the Bible is true. You cannot prove the Bible by pointing to the Bible. You have to prove the Bible by pointing to things outside of the Bible.
Of course, and I tried to do that with you with the prophecy in the book of Daniel, where you can go outside of the Bible,
Brandon,
prove the day of the origins. See, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm saying, it gives you an exact date. It's giving you here's your yellow.
No, it does not. You, sir, are lying your ass off if you say that the book of Daniel makes a prophecy with an exact. Give me the verse in Daniel right now that gives an exact date of a prophecy that came to pass.
Daniel chapter 9. Let me go to the exact verse. I believe is I think 12. Where the angel Gabriel comes and tells Daniel in exactly 483 years from the day that that the decree is made to rebuild Jerusalem, not the wall of Jerusalem, that, from that, exactly from that day, exactly 483 years, the Messiah, whoever this person is going to be, we don't know his name yet, but whoever this person is going to come through the gates of Jerusalem on an ass, pulling a colt in this humble form for a reason. A lot of people don't understand the miracles.
The word ass does not appear in Daniel chapter 9. So I tell you what, Brandon, I let you do this. You couldn't present a verse. And even if a verse said in 412 years from X point, how do you identify when that point is? And how do you identify what things has actually fulfilled it? So that's not the same thing as giving an exact date, especially when dating systems change and what a year is change.
Okay, but check this out. So now this is 200 years before.
No, I'm not going to check this out. See, when I make a point that counters your point, you don't get to say, okay, now check this out. Because when you say, okay, that means you're agreeing with me.
I'm trying to prove that you can look in outside sources other than the Bible to prove these episodes, this situation actually occurred. This is something that really
What situation?
So now,
what situation?
Okay, Artaxerxes. Okay, 200 years after Daniel gets the prophecy.
No, Brandon. Why do you keep doing this? Answer the question that you've been asked. Brandon, what passage are we looking at and what are we talking about?
Okay, let me go to Daniel chapter 9 real quick. I'll pull out my Bible. I figured you were I don't accept the Bible, so we can just take that off the table. So that's where, let me get the actual verse, Daniel chapter 9. It makes it crystal clear for sources and an exact date. So, this is where I'm saying this is the yellow lamp. But no matter what, you're going to see orange because you have a different worldview. So for either...
Well, I have a different definition of what exact date means.
Well, this is... Okay, it says so you can look up the day that Artaxerxes made the decree for for Jerusalem to be rebuilt, and then you can also look outside the Bible for the date of what's the origins of Palm Sunday. Palm Sunday celebrates the day that Jesus actually came through the gates of Jerusalem, when by a Jewish calendar of 360 years.
Brandon,
I was almost there. Go ahead.
No, you weren't almost there. You told me you were opening up to Daniel 9 to read me the verse that gives an exact date. Are you going to do that or not?
Yes.
Well, do it now.
I am. All right.
Too late.
I'm trying.
I don't know if our friend Brandon knows that the book of Daniel is written at least 200 years after it purports to have been written. So we don't even know that date.
Yeah. This is the thing. There isn't a verse there that gives an exact date. What there is about 77s and what's going to happen. And so you can do some math and you have to do some conversions with regard to the dating method that was in use at the time by the Israelites, and then move forward. And what you get is something that approximates from the time until the time that the temple was rebuilt in 70 AD, or one of either that or the Jesus thing. The point is that there's nothing specific in here that says on this date, this will happen. It's all about interpretation. And so Brandon wants to say that I myself and every atheist evidently has rose-colored glasses that prevent us from seeing this, when I would argue that he's got the rose-colored glasses on that enable him to see it.
And most Christians don't believe it either. So